What's up everybody, it's your boy Max Gray, thanks for stopping by. This channel is a place where we cover everything heavy metal and hard rock related, from underground to mainstream bands. There's a lot of good stuff to cover this week. In today's list, there's notably an album that I'm really looking forward to, an album that is truly out of the ordinary. And there is also a record that reminds me a little bit of the soundtrack of a movie that I like. So I'm excited to share all this stuff with you today. Without further ado, let's jump in. Welcome back to Metal Planet. The first title into this list is Eclipsing Worlds of Scorn, the fourth full-length album by Obsidian. This American black metal formation founded in 2009 has a distinct atmospheric sound. Its music is defined by having complex song structures, and its compositions are long epics, generally lasting 6 minutes or more in length. The material on Eclipsing Worlds of Scorn will feature immersive sound textures and a dreamy, almost psychedelic soundscape, so this album can be viewed as the soundtrack to a weird dream or nightmare. The songs were written during the COVID pandemic and were notably recorded and produced in an old-fashioned way without the use of click tracks or quantization, giving them a relatively unpolished sound. Next Friday, the Christian metalcore formation Wolves at the Gate from Ohio will unleash its sixth studio album Wasteland via Solid State Records. According to the singer Steve Kobuchi, the band explores with this record different concepts through the lens of a broader narrative and story. The album's first single, Parasite, a strong track, is about the relationship between a parasite and its host, representing a metaphor for the relation between people and their own weaknesses and tendencies. On Wasteland you will find stumpy breakdowns, a mix of different vocal styles like commanding harsh vocals and background synths, giving the album a somewhat futuristic sound. The Dead Daisies, a hard rock band featuring former members of Motley Crue, Whitesnake, Lynch Mob and Ozzy Osbourne, will soon release an album featuring reimagined versions of blues standards adapted to the band's style. The idea behind Looking for Trouble emerged when the musicians were working in the studio on their previous album Light 'Em Up. After their rock sessions wrapped each night, they started jamming blues classics for fun, and the producer the band was working with felt that magic was happening, so they decided to also record those jams. If you like classic acts like Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith and ZZ Top, Looking for Trouble should be up your alley. Personally, the vibe of the tracks Crossroads and Boom Boom from Looking for Trouble reminds me of the rock songs in the soundtrack of the OG Roadhouse movie with Patrick Swayze. I really like this movie, so I will definitely listen to Looking for Trouble. It's giving me some cool 80s vibes. On May 30th, the band Rivers of Nihil will drop its fifth studio album through Metal Blade Records. The sound of Rivers of Nihil is firmly rooted in death metal, but the band members aren't afraid to explore different musical ideas. For example, in addition to the regular death metal elements like death growls and a machine gun drumming style, their new album will feature some saxophone playing and clean vocals as well, giving the tracks an eclectic dynamic for a death metal record, because those last elements are generally not present in that metal subgenre. In a bold move for a fifth album, the record is self-titled, which seems to symbolize that the band members feel that this album is currently the best representation of the band musically. I guess time will tell if the fans feel this way about the album too. The new Rivers of Nihil album is not the only death metal album coming out this week. There will be other death metal records. Eschaton, a band playing at fast tempos in a slick technical style and currently featuring the former Obscura guitarist Christian Munzner in its lineup, will drop next Friday, Techtalitarian. This one will feature impressive performances on guitars and drums. The Dutch group Graceless will release Icons of Ruins. Compared to Eschaton, the music of Graceless is generally played at tempos that are a bit slower, and it is closer to old-school death metal than modern death metal. On May 30th, the influential Polish death metal band Vader will also release a new title, Humanihility, but it will be a short extended play of 3 songs. It is meant to be an appetizer coinciding with the band's March of the Unbending tour and Summer Rampage festival run. The album that is out of the ordinary that I was talking about earlier is Tetradōm, the debut record by Quadvium. What's so special about this instrumental project is that the music is centered around the bass playing rather than the guitars and vocals like 99.9% of metal bands. Tetradōm features the playing of 2 legendary virtuoso fretless bass players, Jeroen Paul Tesseling, another former member of Obscura, and Steve DiGiorgio, formerly of Death and currently in Testament. In this album, the electric guitar and drums are also present, but it is the interplay of those 2 bassists that really takes the center stage, creating something unique and refreshing musically. If like me you think that the bass is often an underutilized instrument in music, Tetradōm is a chance for us to witness the full potential of the instrument in a metal context. Bloodhorse is a power trio featuring members of the bands American Nightmare, The Red Chord and All Pigs Must Die. Its sound is a blend of different metal and rock subgenres with slow guitar riffs like post-metal, stoner rock and sludge metal. Thematically, the new Bloodhorse album A Malign Star is intended to be a raw and relentless journey through doubt, defiance and the eerie spaces in between. This record will have a dense atmosphere and evidently be a display of slow guitar riffs. It will also have vocals that are both mesmerizing and gritty at the same time. A Malign Star can have a big appeal to the people who like Black Sabbath albums like Master of Reality, Volume 4, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and Sabotage. Songs of Last Resort is one, if not the most anticipated release for this week for many metal fans. It will be the first The Haunted album in 8 years, representing some sort of comeback for the band. The Haunted is known for featuring in its lineup members of the influential melodic death metal band At the Gates, as well as the popular YouTuber Ola Englund on guitar. The tracks Warhead and In Fire Reborn from this album are really energetic and have the kind of aggressive riffs and pounding drum beats that make you want to headbang. The performances on the guitars are really sharp and precise. For the production side of things, the mixing and mastering job by the recording engineer Jens Bogren elevates the tracks even more by giving them some extra weight. This album is definitely promising. In this round we have 4 albums from different metal subgenres. The first one is by Vildhjarta. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name of this album. Its title means Where the Forest Sings Under the Eternal Spruce Trees in Swedish. How can I describe the music of Vildhjarta? To me it basically sounds both chaotic and really organized at the same time. To give you an example, Vildhjarta is inspired by Meshuggah and shares similarities with this last formation, like a polyrhythmic nature, heavily down-tuned guitars and gentle staccato riffs. The second album, Walk the Shadows, is by Lord Vigo, a band often described as playing in the epic doom metal style. I have to say that this record is not going to be your ordinary doom metal album. It will feature other characteristics like new wave of British heavy metal guitar harmonies and new wave synths and vocals, creating an original sonic experience for the listeners. The last 2 albums, Poetry from Pain and New and Improved, are respectively by Gridiron and Ed P. Poetry from Pain will contain original songs with a sound that is a cross between Hatebreed, Rage Against the Machine and Limp Bizkit, while New and Improved will be a collection of fun covers of songs from different bands like AC/DC and The Police. So that were the albums for this week. If you like this video, smash the like button and join the Metal Planet community by subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I feel that we have some really good releases this week. There are many titles from today's list that interest me, like the new Quadvium, Wolves at the Gate, the Dead Daisies and the Haunted albums. Let me know in the comments what are going to be your picks for this week. For a more complete list of the albums coming out on May 30th, check the description section of this video. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!